Hey there, Bears fans. Harrison Graham here with an episode of Chicago Bears Now. Today's show is presented by Manscaped. Make sure you get the best men's grooming products out there at manscaped.com. Code Bears20 going to get you 20% off. All right, guys, coming up on today's show, we got some winners and losers from Bears OTAs as we put a wrap on Chicago Bears OTAs. The Bears even put a kind of early wrap on it, as well as instead of practicing on Thursday, they went to the United Center and shot some hoops, played some knockout, had some fun. So that was cool to see the guys kind of just get a day off, but still do some team bonding. So I really enjoyed that. Go check out the Bears Twitter. They had a bunch of cool photos and stuff like that. Now, if you're fired up and excited for mandatory minicamp next week, it's kind of the next step, right? You know, things ramp up a bit. I'm fired up. This is a 3-14 team last year. Any football I can get to give me a reason to be excited about this year, I'm going to take it. So like this video if you're with me and fired up for Bears Mandatory Minicamp next week. Some OTA winners from the week. Some of these kind of all throughout all 3 weeks. But for Jaylon Johnson, especially this week, obviously he missed the first couple of weeks. And there was rumors, speculation, could he hold out, this and that. Well, he kind of dismissed the idea of holding out and said that's not really something he would do. He says, look, I have a 3-year-old daughter back in California. I'm a dad before anything else. I don't get to spend too much time with her during the season, so I take pride in being a dad. I'm present, I'm spending time and putting my heart to my daughter. I communicated that to the coaches, and they understood and hopefully respected it. I'm going to be there for my daughter. They can find another corner, but she can't find another dad. That last part of that quote, I felt that. As a new dad myself, I really respect that. Obviously he has a job. He's got work to do, just like I have a job. I've got to come to work as well, but it is voluntary. It's written in the NFL CBA that OTAs are voluntary. Teams cannot punish you for not showing up. Now, could they lower him on the depth chart and, make him work his way back up? Sure, but Jaylon Johnson's an established player. He's the best corner you have. If he misses 5 or 6 OTA practices and shows up for the final week, is at mandatory minicamp and training camp, is it really going to be the difference in the Bears winning 7 or 10 games? I don't think it's going to be the case. Nate Davis signed for $30 million and didn't show up till the 3rd week of OTAs. So I actually respect Jaylon Johnson a lot here. Get a couple extra weeks with your daughter. He also had a charity golf event that he put on as well. So I really have no issue after hearing Jaylon Johnson talk to the media earlier this week. Show him some love. CB1, type 33, of course, Jaylon Johnson's number, down in the comments below. Excited to have him back into the fold and see what happens moving forward. Could he still hold out? I don't know, but based on how he talked, I don't think that'll be the case. Next up is Justin Fields, the Bears quarterback. Now, full disclosure, according to reports, it didn't sound like he was quite as sharp during the 3rd week of the one practice that was open to the medias, but still had a pretty strong day, just not quite as good as the first 2 practices that the media was at. He missed a couple of deep balls by just a step here and there, but I think just based on everything we're hearing from players, coaches, Dave Wanstead, who was at a practice last week saying he liked what he saw, it just seems like he's taken that next step. So I'm excited about the quarterback, and I do want to pair this in with DJ Moore as well, because I think this pairing is really becoming evident that it's going to be a strong one. You traded for DJ Moore with the hoping that he could help Justin Fields and that Fields could help DJ Moore, who's played with some garbage quarterbacks in Carolina. And who's really seen that blossom beyond a lot of coaches and analysts who have said so? Jaquan Brisker, who's playing safety and kind of sees this all unfold close up every single day. He said, it looks like they've got that chemistry going very fast. Earlier than I expected. They look like they're best friends. Justin's definitely throwing him the ball. Justin looks good. He's going through his progressions. He's looking very smooth, making good decisions out there, and looking like the best quarterback in the NFL. Might be hyping up his boy a little bit too much there. Because he has a receiver out there he wants and that he knows he can trust and throw it to, Fields looks different. It's a different energy. The connection is clearly building. All the reporters said the same thing, too, after every practice that has been open to the media. Fields is throwing it to Moore a lot, and they're connecting. That's been a common theme. Even though Justin wasn't quite as sharp in this 3rd practice open to the media, one thing that all reporters still said was, yep, that connection with DJ Moore, it continues to stack. So that's exciting to me. those things are very, very important. Remember, Darnell Mooney hasn't even been out there because he's still recovering from an injury. Chase Claypool hasn't practiced much the last couple of weeks. So, he's got DJ Moore and a bunch of young guys like Tyler Scott and Velus Jones. So keep that in mind as well. Bears Now is sponsored by Manscaped. And guys, Father's Day is almost here. And if you just don't know what to get your dad, I know that's been me in prior years. I'm like, God, it's 3 days till Father's Day. I haven't gotten my dad anything. And I end up just getting some garbage gift last minute. Well, order something from Manscaped, like the Performance Package. It's got the Lawnmower 4.0, which is going to keep your balls nice and tame. Skincare technology. You're not going to have any cuts down there. You get the Weed Whacker 2.0, nose and ear hair. Don't believe that as you get older, you get nose and ear hair. You do. I'm not even 30, and I've already got plenty of it. So you got to keep that nice and grooved. You get the boxers thrown in, travel kit, crop gel to keep your balls nice and smooth as well. It's a really good bundle for just over $100 when you use our promo code at manscaped.com. Our code, of course, is BEARS20 to get 20% off. Go check it out today and all their other products as well. It's Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Next up is Tremaine Edmunds. The former Bills linebacker coming in, gets that big contract with Chicago, biggest contract Ryan Poles has handed out, 4 years, $72 million, and he's already a leader according to reports. I mean, he's the voice of that defense. You could notice that when he spoke to the media for the first time, that he takes pride in that. And for a guy who just turned 25, like, that's exciting to think moving forward, that he could be here for a long time and play a big role. Did some really good things with Buffalo last year. Even though he missed 4 games, still had over 100 tackles, 7 breakups. He's good in coverage. And something that really stands out is a 6'5 linebacker, guys, just looks different out there. Like, it really does. I mean, he's going to be a stud for this team. And while I would still make the argument Roquan is a better overall player, I think in this scheme, Edmonds actually fits better. I think Roquan in a 3-4 scheme is a better fit, which is why him getting to Baltimore and getting his money was a win-win for everybody. You save a little bit of money paying Tremaine Edmonds $18 a year versus $20. You get a second-round pick back. Oh, and by the way, you go sign T.J. Edwards, who was a top 10 linebacker last year. So this linebacker group should be really good. You still have Jack Sanborn. You drafted Noah Sewell. I'm excited. That could be the strongest position group on this team. And while some would say off-ball linebackers aren't that valuable, in this system it is. And the history of the Bears, they always have good linebackers. So glad to see some of that tradition continue, even though we want some evolution in other areas on this team that has not been good traditionally, like, passing the football offensively. All right, subscribe to the channel. Become more locked in with the latest Bears news and rumors. Become more informed as well. Like, if you're a fan of the Bears but feel like you don't, have as much information as you would like to on a daily basis, well, plugging out daily videos for you guys. It's 100% free. Subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Few losers here, and, 2 of these in particular, just guys who have missed some time. So Chase Claypool, who obviously big year for him. Ryan Poles sent the second-round pick to Pittsburgh for him at the deadline last year. He was slow to pick things up during the season. He's missed some valuable reps the past couple weeks. Now, here's what I do want to say. Number one, multiple reports out there that Chase Claypool is staying late to watch film, study the playbook. Justin Fields has spoke glowingly about him, so it seems like when he's been available on the field, he's looking better, and even though he's missed some time out of precautionary the last couple of weeks, he's still doing all the right things. So I'm not going to freak out over him missing some voluntary reps, but I think every rep he could get is valuable, and again, losers this time of year, you really got to kind of dig deep if you're being honest. Trestan Ebner. I just haven't heard much about him, right? And when you kind of combine that with the fact that the Bears invested at running back by drafting Jaylon Johnson and signing D'Onta Foreman, along with already having Khalil Herbert. Oh, and they signed Trestan Ebner, or Travis Homer, a guy who can play special teams and be a pass catcher. Where does Trestan Ebner fit? What is the path for him to make this team? Unless they trade one of their running backs or one of them gets hurt, like, are they going to carry 5 running backs and a fullback? I just don't see it. Like, how or why would that happen? Because Kari Blazingame's going to be on this team unless they completely pivot and decide to not have a fullback in this offense, which that's not going to be the case. So, look, unless, Roschon or Foreman just shits the bed and doesn't look the part, which even if Roschon did, they're not going to cut their 4th-round pick. I think Trestan Ebner's screwed. Darnell Mooney next up here. Now, this is kind of a good news, bad news situation with Darnell Mooney. The bad news is he's still not quite fully healthy, so he hasn't been able to get those a ton of live reps in with Justin Fields in this offense. The good news is according to Matt Eberflus, he is on track to be ready for training camp. Now, that means he probably won't be there practicing at mandatory minicamp, maybe do some individual stuff to the side. We'll see. But if he's ready for training camp, I feel okay because he's been here. He's kind of the veteran of the receiver room, as weird as that sounds. I guess DJ Moore's that now, but this is his first year here, obviously. Now, Mooney is a guy that has a big year ahead of him, right? Because he's eligible for a contract extension, as is Chase Claypool, both entering the final year of their rookie contracts. Mooney obviously had a nice little rookie year, broke out in year 2, and last year, while he started slow, he was starting to pick it up, and then has the season-ending injury. So big 2023 for Darnell Mooney. If he gets ready for training camp, that is what's most important. Now, who will be wide receiver 2 this year? DJ Moore is going to be the top guy. We know that. If you think it's Darnell Mooney, type DM. I'd give him the slight edge based on him being here. If you think it's Chase Claypool, type CC. He's been a pretty solid number 2 in the past. His first 2 years in Pittsburgh, he did that. Let me know, DM for Mooney or CC for Claypool. All right, guys, appreciate you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed our coverage during OTAs. We are on to mandatory at mini camp, so make sure you subscribe, get the latest news and notes from that. And until then, bear down.